Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about two ailment builds, because ailments in general are overlooked. And well, I'm not surprised because they can be outrun really easy by normal builds, and making a comparison versus the meta would be a bit pointless. We can agree that the one that holds quite well is poison, and a new raw option using a scorned magna lance. The thing with lances is that they hit quite slow, and if we compare it with dual blades, well, there's not too much we can do, unless we do some workarounds. This is the considered poison meta build. Personally, I like it, but I am not a fan of using the cookie cutter classic skills with poison anymore, and something similar happens with other ailments. Rather than focusing in procs, they focus in damage. And well, against the sponges of HP that makes sense, as their general effectiveness is reduced with proc. The best way to use ailments is using a complete evasive build, but let's be honest, how many people out there plays the evasive lance? Just because I have shown that build a couple of times, I'll leave it in the description in case you are interested. The evasive lance build has its issues as you start competing against some core skills, like offensive guard. And as it is skill intensive, we may end up sacrificing guard skills in favor of evade window. But what if we create a hybrid? Here just a disclaimer regarding this build. It is for solo runs. The main idea is to use one of the new decos to patch two important things, guards and evasions. If we want to achieve something similar without augmentations, this is what I will do. As you can see, the main idea is to use Embolden, a status trigger, and a gimmicky way to patch its affinity. Foray is not a must, as it only works perfectly well with poison, but more details about it later. Ideally, we want a charm similar to this, Weakness Exploit 2 with Evade Window 2. That plus Embolden 3 or Bloodlust while infected, it is perfectly possible to avoid attacks by jumping or guarding them, and because of Embolden is why I recommend to use this in solo hunts. With poison, our affinity is going to fluctuate from 70 up to 100 because of Bloodlust, Foray and Agitator. Ideally, to make it work, we need to understand when it's better to guard attacks or jump through them, to have offensive guard and a status trigger as much as possible. Also, keep in mind that activating a status trigger activates build-up boost, and you can permanently keep the monster poisoned, even when they develop its resistance, making Foray an ideal skill to have. With ailments like Sleep and Blast, instead of relying in Foray, we can add some other things, depending what we need to patch. And for the augmented build, we can focus those augmentations in skills to increase the overall effectiveness of this build, like getting the third status trigger, Bloodlust 2 for an increased affinity. Regarding the sleeps, we can do several things like going for extra damage in the form of Mail of Hellfire, or increase our slotting to add some other skills, and preferably one offensive guard point in the mail or sleeps. With that, we have the best of both worlds, evasive skills and guard skills. This way you can guard almost anything, and in case you see an opening, you can jump and activate the status trigger. It is not ideal, but it is comfy as heck. For the weapons, if you just want to go for damage, these are the lances I would use, and for procs, these are the ones, considering that you upgrade the lances, of course. Going a bit more effective, this is the Dango I use. It increases our damage and ailment. Small increases, but it does the work in the long run. And for pets, you can use a Palico with the Endemic Life Barrage or Shock Tripper. That way you can also make use of some Foray points. I hope this information is useful for all of you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.